we're talking about the curly hair products that my hair at one point it loved, and then something happened. Hey Natural Beauties, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Cherie with another video. Now make sure you go on over to Jerry Johnson's channel. We collaborated together on this video. She's also done a video like this one entitled Natural Hair Products I No Longer Use. And I will drop her channel link and the video link in the video description box as well as up in the cards. So after you check mine out, make sure you go on over to her channel and check out that video. She has a lot of great content, very educational, very informative, and very helpful if you have 4C type hair. She has got it nailed down to a science, guys. So definitely check her video out as well. And if you're here from Jerry's channel, welcome. Thank you for visiting. I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button and the like button if you enjoy my content as well. Let's get right into it. We're talking about the curly hair products that my hair at one point it loved, and then something happened. So first on the list, and I'm trying to go into order of like the more recent things to the things from a long time ago. And let me preface this first because I kind of went into a no try, no buy binge. If the products that I had been using were working just fine, then I felt no need to go and purchase new products. So a lot of this stuff is all natural DIYs that I would do for myself. And I made some different changes in my hair care routine and in my regimen that probably didn't mix with them. But we'll get into the whys later. Let's get into those products now. So the As I Am Coconut Cleansing Co-Wash. Now, there are other products from that line that I still use. For whatever reason, when I used this co-wash the first time, it was great. And I was like, okay. I love the scent, the fragrance, the wonderful tangerine smell. My hair felt very moisturized and conditioned, but I think it was just after the second time, I realized I couldn't keep using it. I couldn't use it every wash day because my hair wouldn't feel as clean. Like I still needed that clean feeling in my scalp, and I just wasn't feeling that. I think I purchased it twice, and I just really didn't see a use for it anymore because I was always finding myself going back to the shampoo and I wouldn't get that same clean feeling that I got when I used that co-wash. So I said bye-bye to that one. It's a great product if you want to do co-washing or if you're strictly following the curly girl method. But this curly girl needs some sulfates or some clarifiers every now and then, and so that had to go. Number 2 on my list. So I don't know how many people still do this anymore, but I used to ritualistically henna my hair. And you all know I've talked about it before. I'm a big fan of color. One day I'll get into my color hair journey. I'm still technically color treated, but we'll talk about that later. But I loved the deep conditioning properties of henna as well as the color additives that henna also provide for your hair. At one point, I decided to lighten my hair, and eventually I lightened it again. And after I decided to stop doing that, I decided to go darker. And so one of the ways that you can go dark, like if you want to get jet black, is using indigo. So I would use henna and indigo in conjunction with each other. That's the only way you can actually have it work on your hair. You have to apply a henna treatment to your hair and allow it time for the indigo to actually work on your hair as well. So the henna has to be applied first. They go with each other. I don't know who figured this out. That's genius. But either way, I would do that religiously until I decided I didn't want to be jet black anymore. And that's when tragedy struck. And that's for another video, for another story I already told you guys about. But I'll just say henna and indigo, using the colors on your hair, is just like using a permanent hair dye. And if you are trying to change up your hair color often, it's not a good look. And so I've stopped using both of those. I do debate from time to time going back to the henna treatment, but there's another thing about this henna, honey. You have to wait 3 to 4 hours for the dye to release. Once you mix up the mixture, you have to wash all of that out. It's very grainy. It's very sandy. It's almost like bentonite clay, but even more grainy and sandy, because it's a powder, just like bentonite, but it's way worse. Even more messy because of the color. And then if you're trying to darken your hair and add indigo in the mix, indigo is even more messy and can stain all of your things that you don't want stained if you're not careful. And then you have to rinse that out. And you have to let these things sit in your hair for hours and hours. And the process just became too long, too lengthy, and just something that I was no longer willing to do. So while my hair loved the conditioning properties of henna and the deep, dark blue-black that indigo gave, I decided to remove those from my regimen. So that was that. Moving right along. When I first went natural, there weren't a lot of products that there are now. That's a whole nother video we're getting into. Look out for the Natural Hair Starter Kit OG Edition. But the Aussie Hair Assurance Leave-In Conditioner. Now when I first went natural, I had my TWA, and I could just wet it and go, or wet it and throw some shea butter or gel and go. I could use this leave-in and, moisturize my hair after I wash or shampooed, or re-wet my hair with it. And then I think as my hair grew out and got longer and thicker, it was just like I was spraying water on my hair and nothing additional. And so I couldn't continue to use that when I felt like, first of all, I would run out of the bottle super fast. But it felt like the moisturizing properties, or adding the moisture to my hair that it once did, just kind of stopped. And I had to find something that was a little thicker, creamier, and stronger. And it took me a long time to do that. I really had trouble finding a leave-in conditioner. And what I ended up doing was taking like thicker conditioners, adding water, and using that as a leave-in. So I no longer use the Hair Assurance leave-in. There are other products that I still do like from Aussie. But that is one that I just had to give up because it just felt ineffective after a while. Speaking of leave-in conditioners, I still have one that I no longer use today. I cannot get it to work like it used to, and that is this Garnier Fructis Sleek and Shine leave-in conditioner. And I think the main reason is probably because of the cones. I have to agree with Cherie on that. If you are not, number one, if you're not cleansing properly, then, silicone buildup is real. And another thing is that you're using other products along with it. Some of them don't pair well with products that do have the cones. And this one, I've found it twice now in two of the videos that I have uploaded recently, that it does not play well with others, and it almost competes as a styler as well as a leave-in conditioner. So the bottle's about half empty. I don't know what can be done with this. I really just feel like I can feel the buildup happening as I'm applying it on. And then once I decide to add another product, I think I tried to use hair paint wax with this one day. And I think I also used one of my favorite stylers, the Natural Mother's Naturals and it just was like the two products were competing with each other. Like it felt like I had a film over my hair and I couldn't get what I wanted. So I had to actually put it down, stop using it, and just use the one product. So I think we are saying goodbye to the Garnier Fructis Sleek and Shine Leave-In Conditioner. I've been using this for years. I mean, probably during my no try, no buy, this was the only leave-in conditioner I would pick up unless I found something else comparable. But the price was good, for a reason. So tossing this one out the window. Okay, so another hair product that I used to use, and this was a favorite. I think I could probably remember using this back in my relaxed days. Hair mayonnaise. Y'all remember hair mayonnaise? This was the stuff. If you didn't use real mayonnaise, because sometimes you can use real mayonnaise, you know, you get the mayonnaise and the olive oil and the egg, and you put that on your hair for deep conditioning purposes. Yes. Well, if you didn't want to do all of that, you can use hair mayonnaise. And my hair used to love this stuff, soak up all the wonderful conditioning, moisturizing properties, and I could sit it on there in there for hours. And at some point, maybe my curls got spoiled. I'm not really sure what happened, but it doesn't condition like it used to. Like the slip doesn't compare, the after effects doesn't compare. Even if you put the heat on it, it just, I don't know. It's just something that isn't as effective as all of the newer products or more natural products that are probably better for your hair. Finally, coconut oil. Everybody had this on their list. This was something, and this is something, there's a little controversy with this. And I could actually probably say, even though I don't really use it now for my hair, that it's not something that I won't use or won't use products that contain coconut oil. When I was a color treated natural and I knew that using coconut oil first before dyeing my hair would help the dye take better, and then just, you know, helping to moisturize my hair shaft, coconut oil was king. But I was overdoing it. I was ODing on the coconut oil. And when you look at coconut oil and realize that it has two forms, it has its liquid form and it has its solid form. Once it gets cooler, it coagulates back into a solid. And over time, that can build up. And if you are not using sulfates and rinsing your hair properly or washing your hair properly to cleanse all of that off, it can build up and dry your hair off and break it off, honey. And when I tell you my hair was breaking off because I was ODing with the coconut oil and just felt like dry, like straw, I had to let it go. And I pretty much went back to using olive oil for a lighter oil, and then castor oil for a heavier oil. Like usually when it got colder, that's when I would do that. But this by itself doesn't touch my hair anymore. I may mix it in with other things if I'm kind of doing a DIY. May cook with it, but not for my hair on its own, because I just never want to experience that feeling again. Those are the curly hair products that my hair used to love. And you know, you guys may have things on this list that you absolutely do love, or you may not even know what I'm talking about, because some of these products I've been using for years, but that's okay. What works for one natural may not work for another, and that's the beauty of our hair. It's very versatile, it's very different, and you just have to take a little bit of trial and error to know what you like. That's all I have for you today. Until my next video, make sure you live out loud, own your truth, and let your light shine.